Now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Morning, everybody, and welcome to the Kevin Davis Insurance Meet the Underwriter webinar. I'm Marketing Manager Sherry Branson. I'm now joined by Kevin Davis from Los Angeles. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning, Sherry. How you doing?
Doing well, thank you. Doing well. Have
Oh,
things cooled
good.
off out there, Kevin, a little bit? Not
You
as
know
hot?
what? I have to say it's cooled off a little bit out here. It's not too bad. I can't complain. It's LA weather now.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, back to perfection.
Can't say it too loud because yes, it's nice though. I can't complain.
Yeah, the rest of us are jealous. And Kevin, we have a very special webinar today. We're going to be doing our once a year Meet the Underwriters webinar. We're going to meet some marketing folks as well. So today's a great day. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, you know what? I look forward to this webinar we do every year. There's our underwriters right
There they
there.
are.
Say
Good
hello,
morning. Hey,
underwriters.
underwriters. Hey, good morning.
Yeah, it's a chance for our agents and our clients to really get a chance to say hello to the underwriters, to meet them, see what they look like and who they are and what some things they like to do. So I look forward to it. It's gonna be fun, and maybe we can learn a few things also.
Yes, we're going to go over the most popular questions that they get. I mean, they get asked questions all the time. So they hear these questions day in and day out. So that we're going to go over some insurance things as well and get to know our underwriters a little bit better. And I did want to mention that I record all of our webinars and I put them on our website, which is kdisonline.com. And if you have any questions about what the information that we go over today, what we go over, please send me an email to sbranson@kdins.com. And now let's get to it. We're joined by Kevin Pratt. Good morning, Kevin.
Morning, Sherry. How are you?
Well, doing well, thank you. How are you? Kevin, meet
Hi.
Kevin.
Hello there. How you doing?
And
It's always
Kevin,
awkward saying hello, Kevin. How you doing? Isn't it awkward?
Kevin and Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevin squared. We have Kevin squared going on. And Kevin, now how long have you been with Kevin Davis? I know you've been here for a little while.
Yeah, I've been working here for a little over 10 years now.
Wow. Okay, over a decade. Wow. Yeah, we
Yeah,
hired
don't
you
say
when you were about 14. I think you hired when you were 14, right?
Yeah.
And Kevin, now what do you do at the company? What's your job? What's your territory?
So I am a senior underwriter for D&O and Umbrella, and I handle New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and Connecticut. So kind of in the New England region.
The East Coast. Great. That's a
Yeah.
beautiful part of the country. That's where I'm from. So I'm a little biased towards New England. Really pretty. And what do you like to do for fun?
So as of recently, I've gotten back into photography. So after work, sometimes I'll go out and shoot some photos.
Oh, great. That's a fun hobby. What's your favorite subject? Like, what do you like to take pictures of?
Mostly architecture. So I'll go out and take pictures of buildings or nature or things of that kind.
Oh, that's great. There's a lot of neat architecture around LA. Some modern, and then some really old, cool buildings.
Yeah, definitely.
Great. Now, I know you get asked lots of questions. You've been with the company over 10 years. Is there one particular question that comes to mind?
Yeah, so what I get asked pretty often actually is what is DNO and why is it so important to community associations?
You know, Kevin, that is probably the number one question I get asked all the time also. Why
Yeah.
do community associations need D&O insurance? And first of all, you understand that boards of directors are volunteers who happen to live where they work. So they live in these community associations, and so they see their clients every single day. And so that means every time they go out to the pool, every time they go on a walk, they always it's a performance review. Their job, people yell and scream at them, say, I come here and fix the pool yet. I come here and fix the roof yet. I come here and haven't taken care of the pet problems. So it's their job to maintain, protect, and enhance the association. But you can't make everybody happy. So when you can't make people happy, what they will do is file a claim against that board for saying they didn't take care of the roof, they didn't take care of the pool. There's too many pets in the area. The kids are too noisy. So that's why you need D&O. And anytime there's a claim made against that board of directors for not doing their job, then you have what's a D&O claim. So D&O is very, very important for community associations because of that reason. It's unlike where we go. D&O is important for corporations, but when we go home, we don't see the people we work with. They see those people all day long. So there's a lot of little claims that they're going to see that happens just because they live with the same people who they work with. So how's that sound?
Sounds great. That was very helpful, Kevin. Thank you.
All right, good, good. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Kevin. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Mhm.
Yes, and Kevin, you're living next to a board member, your neighbor
Oh,
could be the
okay.
board member, so you're right, you're seeing these people after the board meetings, you're seeing them on weekends, etc. So it's a very unique animal living in an association.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
And the amount of claims that we see is just amazing because you live with the same people who you have to work and protect and enhance, make sure that community association is always looking to keep the value up. That's the perfect thing. You want to keep the value in the association up.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you so much for that answer. And now we're joined by Alex. Good morning, Alex.
Morning, Sherry. How are you doing?
Doing well, thank you. Doing well. Thank you for joining us today. Could you tell us a little bit about how long you've been with the company and what your position is with the company?
Yeah, I got here in early January, and I'm an associate underwriter in the Southeast Florida territory.
Oh, okay. Southeast Florida. That's a nice area. Beautiful, beautiful area. Great. And what do you like to do for fun? Are you from LA originally? And what do you like to do for fun?
Originally, I'm from Kansas. Moved out here a little over a year ago. And for fun, I just like to go hiking, camping. I like playing soccer.
Mhm.
Pretty much
Outdoors.
anything.
You like nature. You like outdoorsy stuff. Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's some great hiking and waterfalls outside of LA. It's really, it's not like a typical city. There's a lot of hills and great trails. That's great.
Oh, yeah. A lot of beautiful areas.
Yeah, I've never met anybody from Kansas. I think you're the first person. And Alex, do you have a question you'd like to ask Kevin today? I'm sure you've been dealing with a lot of brokers over the past few months, so a lot of issues have come up.
Yeah, one big question that I've been getting is, what sets the Kevin Davis D&O policy apart from the other D&O policies out there? Like what makes it unique?
Sure. Again, that's a good question. Probably second most important question. So, as I said before, you have people who live in community associations. Their job is to protect the community association, maintain and enhance it. So you have to improve it. And people who don't like it really go after them all the time. If you're at the pool, they're talking to you. The problem is, and when we talk about community associations, you're talking about if there's a loss that occurs. The loss has to be for people who actually manage their community association. So that means you have your board of directors, your past board members, your committee members, your volunteers. All their job is to maintain, enhance, protect that community association. So what our policy does, number one, is a broad name insured to protect all the individuals who are responsible for protecting, maintaining, and enhancing the community association. Where most of our competitors, the package policy will provide coverage for directors and officers only. They do not pick up volunteers, employees, committee members, or management company employees. So we pick up the management also. So our number one area, I would say, is the broad named insured. The second area, I would say, is that we have fewer exclusions in the policy. We talk about exclusion, we talk about things like breach of contract. We don't exclude breach of contract. So if you enter into a contract with a landscaper, you don't like the landscaper doing, you can't terminate contract in 6 months. Most policies will not pick any coverage up for that. We do defend that. We also don't have an insured versus insured exclusion. So if you're the president and Sherry's the vice president and you decide to sue each other, we have to have 2 attorneys for both of you, and we don't exclude that also. But the main exclusion that we don't have in our policy that a lot of do is we pick up non-monetary coverages. Now, non-monetary coverages are excluded under most policies because when you have a liability claim, you're suing for damages. In D&O, you're not suing for damages. You always have the right to make sure that you're doing the job properly. So you're not suing them for $100,000 because the roof is not fixed. You're suing them because you want them to fix the roof. Those are excluded because no damages. We make sure they're picked up. So that's our main differences there.
Okay. Yeah, it's
Okay.
really
Great.
good to know the distinctions.
Okay.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Alex.
Thanks for
Yeah,
joining
thank you.
us. Yeah.
Okay.
Great. So it's basically, Kevin, the smart thing to do is buyer beware, for the brokers that are joining us to just ask what exclusions are in this particular policy, because even though they're getting a D&O policy, they're not all the same.
Mm-hmm. And the key thing, not only just the exclusions, but who's insured under the policy,
Mm-hmm.
especially the management company employees, because lots of times they're not covered. And also, too, you're talking about past board members versus future board members. Because, again, you may be on the board today and decide to fund the reserve, but then you're off the board and the new board says we don't want to fund the reserve anymore. And all of a sudden, you may be held liable or not held liable for it. So there's a lot of little areas in there that you have to be concerned about.
Absolutely. Board members can sue past board members, et cetera. And now, Kevin, somebody actually emailed a question in, so I'd like to throw a question out there myself.
Sure.
What types of claims are most common under the D&O policy?
Yeah, I would say a couple of them right now off the bat. The most important are the non-monetary damage claims. Those are the claims that you have the right to park your car, or have a pet, or do whatever you want to do. So what you call breach of fiduciary duty type claims, where the board breached their fiduciary duty because they didn't allow me to do things I should be doing. Another area is discrimination, big area. Employment-related discrimination. If you have employees, that is an issue. Even if you don't have employees in the community association, they can say that you arbitrarily enforcing the documents arbitrarily, meaning that there are unit owners that you're giving a benefit to versus ones you're not. Meaning I park my car in visitors parking, not because I'm the jerk of the association, but because I'm protecting the class and how dare you treat me this way. So discrimination is a big problem. Breach of contract is a big problem too. So I think those are probably the big areas right now that we see.
Absolutely. And, the board members are not HR professionals. So when they decide to just end a contract or fire somebody, I mean, they're making decisions that they may not have the expertise or the background to make those decisions, and that can turn into a claim. Absolutely.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes.
Great.
Definitely.
Great. Fantastic. Thank you, Kevin. And now we're joined by Adriana, our underwriter, Adriana Velez. Good morning, Adriana.
Good morning, Sherry.
How are you?
Hi, Kev.
Hey,
I'm
hey,
good.
Joy.
Good.
And Adriana, I know you've been with Kevin Davis for quite a while. I think you might be the longest term person on today's webinar. Can you tell us how long you've been with the company and what your territory is and what you do?
I don't like that. Yeah, I've been with the company for 15 plus years or so. Yeah, I'm a senior underwriter. I handle, my biggest territory is Michigan. I also handle Montana, Idaho, and New Mexico.
Oh, okay. So those are some large states, very large states. Wow, 15 years. Congratulations. That's great. Okay. And what do you like to do for fun? I know you have children. What do you like to do, once you're out of the office to relax and unwind?
Well, right now it's a busy household. I have both my kids in soccer, so it's going to be a busy season for my husband and I, but it's fun.
A lot of soccer games.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun. Yeah, that's a nice time. Great.
Like what? So we always do things involving lakes, beach, and I'm sure with many pools.
Absolutely, with a hot summer. Yeah, it's nice to get out of the city and just be around in the country. Yeah. That's great. That's fantastic. And I know you get tons of questions because you've been an underwriter for quite a while. Is there something in particular you'd like to ask Kevin?
Yeah, well, we know that there's many exclusions in every policy. So I get asked a lot of times, what exclusions should I be concerned about?
Yeah, Adriana, it's a very good question. And first of all, thanks for the 15 years of service. You've been great to have. And yes, it's been good. It's been good. I've seen you grow up. You got kids and everything. So congratulations. It's been great.
You went to my wedding.
Yes, that's right. I did. Time has flown by, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, listen, when we talk about D&O exclusions, that's the most important part, because when you provide coverage for D&O, you're talking about wrongful act coverage, meaning anything the board of directors does wrong, they can be held liable for. The D&O should respond. So the only thing we look at are the exclusions to see what's not covered in your D&O policy. So normally, when we talk about D&O exclusions, you're talking about things like dishonest acts, bodily injury, property damage, things that are just uninsurable. Now, there are things that are insurable that you see under D&O exclusions. They're there because they're expensive, like breach of contract. Breach of contract claims are normally excluded because to breaching a contract is an intentional act. That means you did it on purpose. So they should not be covered. What we're saying is that board members are volunteers. So we make sure that we do provide defense for those type of acts. The same thing about non-monetary damages. We provide coverage for those because it's really the cost of doing business when you're sued because somebody has a right to do something. There's no damages involved. It's just the cost of doing business. But we're saying, no, it's not the cost of doing business. There are damages. There are situations where you're being sued or a claim against you. We want to pick those up. Another area is discrimination. Discrimination is against public policy. But we will defend discrimination claims until the judge says, yes, you discriminated. There's no longer any coverage. So I would say those are the three most important exclusions to make sure that they're not in a D&O policy.
Okay.
But you knew that already, didn't you?
I think so.
She's an expert, Kevin.
Of course she is.
Thank you, Adriana. Thanks so much. Thank you. Great seeing you.
Thanks a lot.
Take care.
Great. Yeah, so basically, when somebody's shopping for a D&O policy, Kevin, to talk to the underwriter if there's any concerns about specific exclusions, and we have specimen policies on our website if you want to print out a copy of the policy, or you can just call your underwriter and ask, is this excluded and to what degree, et cetera. Great. And now we're joined by Alex Montclair. Alex joins us from North Carolina, the great state of North Carolina. Hey, Alex. Hi.
Hey, everyone. Hi.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for joining us. And Alex, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and how long you've been with the company and what territory you cover? And you're a marketing representative, correct?
Correct. So, yep, as mentioned, my name is Alex Montclair. I'm located in Raleigh, North Carolina. Marketing rep for North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, Texas, Arkansas, and the Virgin Islands. So it's a rather large territory, but I have some amazing agents that make it all manageable. I've been with Kevin Davis for a little over a year. Hobbies include going to the gym and catching up on the latest movies.
Oh, great. Well, those are good hobbies to have. Keep you busy and keep you healthy.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And Alex, I'm sure you deal with a lot of brokers. You get lots of questions. Is there a particular question that you'd like Kevin to answer?
Absolutely. So, Kevin, when I'm out visiting agents, I hear, what is social engineering and how does social engineering affect community associations?
Sure. Social engineering is probably the hottest topic right now. Social engineering coverage is part of the crime policy. Okay, so before we talk about D&O, now we move into the crime coverages, and it is brand new. We're starting to add it to all of our crime policies. And basically what it is, it provides coverage when you are tricked into giving somebody money that they're not supposed to receive. So you're talking about somebody who's actually tricked into doing it, meaning that if I'm a hacker and I pretend to be your landscaper and say, guess what, pay me now or else I'm going to fine you 5% additional or 10% additional, but send it to this new routing number because the old routing number is closed, and you send it to them, and then all of a sudden the original landscaper says, where's my money? That's the reason why you need social engineering. Social engineering is really important for community associations because they do a lot of work with vendors, they do a lot with management companies, roofers, contractors, and again, it's easy for somebody to slip in there and pretend to be somebody they're not. And that's what the coverage is for, really for protect them because there's a lot of happening right now.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you, Kevin.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you, Alex.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Kevin. Thank you. And I just wanted to mention that when I was at a trade show a couple of years ago, a board member came up to me and told me that their treasurer had received an email from supposedly another board member asking them to cut a check to buy a painting for the lobby of their association, and it turned out to be a hacker. So
yes.
Yeah, they wanted them to cut the check and send the check. So it's happening out there to associations. We're hearing it, we go out there and talk to people. So lots of cyber situations going on. And speaking of cyber, we're going to be talking about that in a little bit. And now we're now joined by Kenny Bodie from the East Coast as well. Good morning, Kenny.
Good morning, everyone. How's it going?
Good.
All right.
How are you?
Not bad. Happy Thursday.
Oh, happy Thursday to you too. And Kenny, I know you've been with the company for a while. Can you tell everybody how long you've been with the company, what your job is with the company, and what your territory is?
Sure. So again, my name is Kenny Bodie. I'm another marketing manager here at Kevin Davis. I've been with the company officially for almost 9 years now, but I actually interned for the company back during my high school days during the summer. So it's been a little bit longer than that, right, Kevin?
Yes, many years.
That's great. That's great. And you're in Virginia now, Kenny?
Yes, I'm in Virginia. My territory includes the Mid-Atlantic region, which is Virginia, Delaware, D.C., Maryland, Pennsylvania, and it goes all the way out to Illinois and Kentucky.
Oh, okay. So the East Corridor kind of, and then out west. Okay. That's a
Right.
big area. That's quite a large area. I'm
Yep.
sure.
It's big, but it's a good mix of agents. I appreciate everything they do with us.
That's great. That's great. And Ken, I know you probably get a lot of questions. What's the hottest question that you're getting right now?
Sure. So like you said earlier, cyber is the next biggest thing behind social engineering, like Kevin said. So one of the biggest questions I get when I'm talking to agents is, why do associations even need cyber coverage, especially in this day and age where a lot of associations have a professional property management company that handles all their data, all their funds? They're wondering why they even need cyber to begin with for the association itself.
Mm-hmm. Very good question, Kenny. And since you are a cyber expert, I know you know the answer. Just make sure that I'm giving the right answer. How's that?
Sure. How about, yeah, I appreciate that. Let's go with that.
Basically, when you talk about cyber for community associations, okay, they don't believe they have any exposure because they give the money over to the property manager and they walk away. Not the money, all the information, the money, the data, everything, and they walk away from them. The problem is that the data belongs to the association, not the management company or anybody else they give it to. So if the management company loses their laptop, on a laptop it has all the association board members, it is responsibility of each individual association to make sure that there is things that have to happen in terms of notification and all this kind of thing, call centers and all those different things. So it is responsibility of the board of directors of the association to make sure that happens. So that's the reason why you need it. And I would say the number one exposure out there is the lost laptop. I mean, you lose a laptop, information's on there. It's the management company can say it's our responsibility, but it really is the responsibility of the board of directors.
Right, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also are seeing a lot of paper losses as well. You know, you have the property management company, they have their office, the association might have their office, and we're seeing a lot of paper losses too. So it's just human error. So that they really need to get these cyber policies so they're protecting themselves just from when things happen.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
Absolutely.
that's true.
And associations, I mean, like companies like Target have been hacked, the Department of Defense and large healthcare companies have been hacked. Associations don't have a large IT department. They don't have sophisticated IT protection, so they're very vulnerable.
Yeah. And the problem with the lost laptop is that by law, if that laptop is lost or stolen, and information's in there by law, they have to report it. They can't hide it and say, oh, well, nobody will know about it, or I have to get a new laptop. That's the difference, is by law, something has to be done about it.
Mm-hmm. So, Excellent. Well, thank you, Kenny. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks a lot.
You did a good job, Kevin. You're keeping on top of this stuff.
All right, good. Thanks a lot. I'm glad you approved.
Stamp of approval.
All right.
Thank you, Kenny. Great to see you.
All right.
We'll talk to you soon.
Likewise.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, and Kevin, I do know that you did have a situation where a manager's laptop was stolen. I know a couple of years ago, so we're seeing that happening all the time. Great. Good morning. Hi, Angelica. Good morning.
Good morning, Sherry. Good morning, Kevin.
Hello. How you doing?
Thank you for joining us today.
Very welcome.
Could you tell us a little bit about how long you've been with the company, what your job is with the company, and what your territory is?
Sure. I am an underwriter for Umbrella, and my territory is from west of Texas, and I also do Illinois, Maryland, and the District of Columbia.
Oh, okay. So you've got a large area. That's quite a large area. That's great. And how long have you been with the company?
In September, it's going to be 4 years.
4 years. Oh, next month is your anniversary. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Great. And Angelica, I know you probably get a lot of questions all the time. And, we didn't get into what you like to do for fun. Forgot to ask you that question. Do you have any particular hobbies you'd like to discuss, or?
Yes, I do. I love going to Dodger games, spending some time at the ballpark after work.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's a lot of fun. Dodger games are great. And it's close too. It's close to, if you after work, you can go right after work. It's half hour away. That's a great
Yeah,
city.
10 minutes.
Fantastic. And I'm sure you get a lot of questions. Is there a particular question that comes to mind that you'd like to ask Kevin?
Yes, I have a two-part question. What is ransomware, and do we have extortion or ransomware coverage?
Okay. All right. So, yeah, to continue the cyber, right now, the most troublesome coverage out there is ransomware coverage, meaning there are people out there who are locking your computer systems out, and in order for them to unlock it, they hold it for ransom. And in order to pay the ransom, you have to pay in Bitcoins. So a whole industry has developed in terms of how to take care of these things. So there's ransomware coverage available under the cyber policy. The question is that how does it apply to community associations? We're still working on that. So it is available, but we are still trying to work on it because the exposure really is for the community association, is the management company have their whole system locked out, not the board of directors, because the board of directors, they don't have, most of them don't have their own computer servers or anything. So yes, to answer your question, yes, we have it. Ransomware coverage for people who actually lock the systems out and you have no access to anything unless you have the key, and we can provide it. If you're interested in it, anybody's interested in it, contact your underwriter. They can talk to you, or contact me or Sherry if you want to know more about ransomware coverage. Because right now, something that we really are reworking, and in probably another 60 days, we'll probably have a new webinar based on how we're going to handle ransomware. So, good question. Probably don't have a good answer for you, though. That was not a good, yeah. So, I'm sorry. I failed on that one.
Stay tuned, basically stay tuned.
Yes, exactly. Stay tuned.
Thank you, Angelica. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Sherry. Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks a lot. Yes.
Good to see you. And Kevin, what comes to mind is that hospital in Los Angeles that a few years ago was a victim of ransomware, where they actually froze all the patients' records, and they held them ransom for, I think, for a few days until they paid Bitcoins. I think they paid how many Bitcoins was it? It was
yeah, I mean, it was a lot. I think like $10,000, 15 Bitcoins or something like that. I forget the value has changed. It's fluctuated so much over the past several months, over the past 12 months. So it's definitely changed. Yeah.
Yeah. So they had to pay the ransom. So it's trending now as far as a new crime. They're always finding new crimes that they can do. And now we're joined by Kim Davis, and Kim joins us from the East Coast. Good morning, Kim. Hey.
Hi.
Hi. Thanks for joining us. Great to see you.
Good to see you.
And I'm glad I can see you. I'm glad I can actually see you. This is great.
Yes.
Kim, can you tell everybody a little bit about how long you've been with the company, what your job is, and what your territory is?
So I've been with the company a little over a year, and my job is I basically do all the new umbrella business for the whole country.
For the whole country. Okay, so you're a busy person. Very, very busy.
Yes, very.
That's great. And what do you like to do for fun? Do you have any special hobbies or?
Yes, I love to draw. I'm a big I'm big into art, so I'm drawing, sketching, painting. You'll always see me with a sketchbook and a pencil, no matter where I go.
Very creative. You have a very creative mind. Oh,
yes.
That's nice. That's fantastic. Great. Well, thank you for joining us. And you've been dealing with, brokers all over the country. So I'm sure questions have come up. Is there something in particular you'd like Kevin to answer?
Yes, I actually have two questions. The first question is, why do associations need an umbrella? I get that question a lot.
That's a good one.
Okay. In case you want to know that we look alike or anything, that is my daughter. So
I see
I'm looking at it and finding out, wow, we do look alike.
I do see a resemblance there. I do see a resemblance.
We're next to each other.
Kind of, interesting. We do, interesting. So, okay, getting back to your question. Why, what was your question again? I'm stuck now. What was your question?
It was why do associations need an umbrella?
Okay. Community associations are unique animals in the sense that you have volunteer board members, and the volunteer board members live in these big, giant communities, and their job is to maintain, protect, and enhance them. the problem is their responsibility to maintain huge organizations. These are some big, especially you talk about Miami, you talk about New York, you talk about Chicago. And what happens is if they don't do the job of maintaining the property right, there could be a large loss, a large property damage loss, a large bodily injury loss, even a large D&O loss. So if there's a large loss, you need an umbrella to really take care of it. That's why we sell these $5 million losses and $5 million limits, $10 million, $15 million, $25 million limit, because and the reality is that for a condominium, there's a lot of property that the board, who are made up of volunteers, has to maintain as their job. And they're not construction workers, they're not contractors, they're just normal people whose job is to say, we need a new roof, or we need new balconies. So they have a lot of responsibility, and they don't do it correctly, they could be responsible for a large loss. So that's why you have to have high limit umbrellas or umbrellas in general. So.
Okay, yeah, definitely. It's important to have that kind of coverage. And the other one is, why is a true umbrella the way to go? I mean, I hear them asking that question a lot, as opposed to a non-true.
Well, what happens is this. When you talk about excess coverage, when you talk about coverage excess of the general liability or the D&O or auto or anything, you're talking about pure excess that goes over whatever the primary says. What umbrella does is drops down. They give you some coverage that's not covered under the primary itself. So it just provides broader coverage. If you can get an umbrella, you're better than a excess, because basically the umbrella and excess will cost the same amount. The umbrella is just a lot broader coverage. That's all.
Yeah, you should. It's better to have a full umbrella than a half one.
Exactly, that's what it is. Yes, for the maximum protection. Yes, exactly. That's what happens. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic.
All right.
Well, thank you, Kim. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Great to see you. Take care. Great. And Kevin, now we're going to be joined by Annette. Hi, good morning, Annette. That was fast. Wow. Good morning.
Magic.
Yeah, magic. I know. Kim was there and you popped in. Good morning. Thank you for joining us today. And Annette, can you tell everybody how long you've been with the company, what your job is, and what your territory is?
You're frozen, Sherry.
Oh, am I frozen? Can you hear me though?
Yeah, now yeah.
Okay, my bad. Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Annette, could you share with everybody what your job is, what your territory is, and how long you've been with the company?
So I work for the umbrella department, and it's going to be about 4 years in September now that I've been here. And I usually do Florida, the state of Florida.
Okay.
For umbrella.
Okay, great. That's a big state. That keeps you busy. Yes.
Very.
What do you like to do for fun? Do you have any special hobbies, or what do you like to do to relax, after work?
We go to Dodger games, as you probably heard from Angelica. So we go to Dodger games after work.
That's fun. That's great. So you guys are big Dodger fans.
Very. Even though they're not doing so good right now, but it's okay.
That's okay. That's okay. You're a diehard fan. That's important, Great. And I know, Annette, you have questions, that you get asked all the time. Is there one particular question you'd like Kevin to answer?
Yeah, so a lot of agents ask me, why is there a membership fee when they get an umbrella quote? So.
Yes, that's a good one. The way it works is that our umbrella program is a risk purchasing group. So a risk purchasing group is a group, we're saying that you have to be a member of this group. In order to be a member, you're entitled to special rates. And the community association is that membership. If you belong to that, you're entitled to really lower rates. Because right now we're charged for a $5 million limit about $1,000. Normally it's $1,000 per million for an umbrella policy. So what we've done is we worked with preferred property programs, put together a risk purchasing group so they can have lower rates. Now, in order to have lower rates, you have to have a cost attached to lower rates, all management fees, different fees that are associated with this, and those fees are what we charge for the membership agreement. And you have to sign a membership agreement also that says you understand you're part of a group, and as part of a group, you're entitled to lower rates. So that's the reason why most people, once they see it, they understand that it's just the way, it's administrative way of doing certain things. Just like you belong to at HMO, certain fees you got to pay, and everything else is the rate's supposed to be lower. So that's kind of how it is. That makes sense?
Yes, sounds good.
All right, good, good. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Annette. Thank you so much. Great to see you. Thank you.
Same here.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay.
Take care.
You too.
Thank you, Kevin, and thank you everybody for joining us today. It was a great webinar. We had a chance to talk to all the underwriters and get to know them a little bit better. And if anybody has any questions about what we went over today, feel free to send me an email. My email is sbranson@kdins.com. And then please join me in September as I host Travelers Senior Claim Representative Rachel Plazak on September 26th as we discuss claims. Thank you, Kevin, and thank you, everyone. And have a great afternoon. Take care.
Take care.
Bye. Bye, guys. Bye. Thank you.